Ederson to Man United. Here we go. £38 million package, whatever that is, in installments, add-ons. That hasn't actually been exclusively revealed as of yet, but do smash the likes, hype the video, and all that good stuff. You know, subscribe if you're brand new. Been putting these out very, very much daily. But look, a lot of people are not happy about this signing, right? But it's another group of people that are not going to be happy, are going to be happy. It's going to be like this with every single signing that we will have this summer. We should go get this guy. We should go get that guy. But currently, we've got one of the better performing players in the Serie A from the midfield, and he's ours. He is ours. I've wanted him. As you can see from other videos, if you have listened to what I've had to say, I'm buzzing with this. This is a cheap option. This is the option that we need, and it hits a lot of flaws that we currently just do lack in the team currently right now. We have just bought a player who can drive in the middle of the field like Cunha can. Someone that is willing to receive the ball on the half turn at times, please not in the first phase, more in the second phase of build up, and keep it going and skip other midfielders. Now, I can understand the PTSDs around the player. How does it translate from Serie A to the Premier League? Now, I've always thought this, right? When people have agendas and they don't have as much open minds, and you know what? It's not exactly wrong or right, but, you know, there are players from the Serie A like Tonali who we are begging for all of a sudden to come over to our club and help us out. But it can't work for someone like Ederson. Now, I think like Ederson and Tonali actually are very similar players. You know, just as physical as one another. You probably put Tonali in that. I would say, you know, Ederson's better snuffing out danger, but Tonali's just a little bit better in the first phase. But the passing range, you'd actually give to Ederson if you want to do comparisons. But look, the question is who's next on the agenda? Man United are moving fast. It's the 2nd of June, and we've already got our first player through the door, just like the Brazilian did last year in terms of Cunha. We are building something and starting something I feel I can trust and get behind. And I don't know about you guys. Get your thoughts in the comments. Share whatever you have to say. Let's have a conversation about it. It's important. But this isn't going to be the name that sets the lights and absolutely amazes people. There's no piano coming out for this one. And I get it. Not a lot of people are going to be buzzing. But you know what? I think United have played this extremely smartly, right? Or extremely smart. Why I say that is because you're already seeing the likes of Mateus Fernandes being quoted at 80 million. We all know West Ham are not getting 80 million from no club when you need to raise money. And that's factual. It's the same price when it comes to someone like Tonali. You can price him at 100 million all you want. You're not getting that sort of money. Now, if United decided they wanted to have a long-term transfer engagement for the likes of Tonali's, then, you know, what happened if we just paid 80 to 90 million just off the bat and got that one through the door first? That sets the precedent for the next signing and the next signing and so forth. It came out today from the Athletic, even for Iliman Ndiaye. They're talking about 70 million, which is something that I did predict, right? Because of Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. That's where they're setting the bar for his price tag. You know, that's the difference. That's a huge difference. These teams are waiting for other teams to sell their players, and then they can go, well, okay, I think my player is just as good as that player. So that's what I'm going to price them at. Now, going to get the likes of Ederson, which I'm going to guess is around 34 million plus 4 million in add-ons, right? It's no club can say to United, well, we know that you need midfielders. Time is going on in a transfer window, and this is what the price is going to be overall. That's just not the case anymore, you know, because this is why there's a lot of PR coming out for United currently with Alex Scott and the rest of it, is because United are trying to tell the rest of the Premier League that they have options and they are willing to move for such options if clubs are being unreasonable and not willing to, you know, to play game. But look, let's go back to the Ederson part, right? The way I'm viewing it in my mind overall is he's a great ball carrier. He's actually quite a good duelist at that. He's decently strong. I wouldn't say he's the strongest. And he raises the absolute athleticism that we just lack in this team. You know, his passing isn't sad either. When you look at actual metrics, and this is just metrics, the game in the Premier League, you might have to catch up a little bit in terms of the intensity and the speed. But when you look at Ederson, I wouldn't say he's ever playing at 100% in this area. I always looked at this guy thinking, I believe you can offer more. I never really see this man at full throttle. It's a little bit like Mazraoui at times. Like, I know he can produce more when he wants to because he has that side of the game. And this may, again, sound like I'm trying to get on his side doing PR for Ederson, but for someone who's watched him numerous of times, yeah, over the last few years, couple years of that, should I say even, I wouldn't say as much this season, but I've definitely tuned into the bigger games. I've mentioned that clear as day, is that it seems at times it's a little too easy. You know, the only thing I'd say with Ederson that I feel coaches can definitely improve in his game is pretty much his positioning. The reason for Atalanta and his positioning is because it's so disjointed at times because of the 3-4-3. You need a centre mid to sometimes occupy the left wing under the new manager. Sometimes you actually see it being a midfielder's lone on his lonesome. So because they can provide an overload and have 4 attackers crashing out at the defense and try to provide more chances and more goals. I feel like under United, he would have a lot more of a restricted role. And he'll have a part to play. Even with the likes of Kobe Mainu, we see it anyways with Casemiro. We all knew Casemiro wasn't the greatest at first phase. Neither is Ederson. But Ederson's actually a very technically sound midfielder. The difference is that Kobe used to take the ball from the first phase and move the ball up instead of Casemiro. Now, can we see that in the likes of Ederson, who can get around the pitch a little bit more? Can he flaunt the passing range that Casemiro didn't have in times? You know, probably not. But in terms of actually winning the ball up a lot higher up the pitch than what Casemiro used to, because he used to pretty much win the ball pretty much in front of the fence more time than less. It's just, I feel like there's a different game we're about to approach under Michael Carrick, and I am absolutely thrilled and I'm absolutely buzzing to actually see him in a Man United shirt. And you know what? I can just see the signings just rolling through after bit after bit after bit. And you know what Ederson allows our fullbacks to get up the pitch. Has anybody noticed that? We've been linked with Lewis Hall today, and imagine having a Lewis Hall that is actually more of a flying wing back rather than a more of an inverted, correct? You look at Delo, you look at the left backs that we have, maybe Dorgu goes there, maybe Luke Shaw. The difference with Casemiro is Casemiro couldn't cover wide areas as effectively, hence why he got skipped quite a lot and you wanted him more in the central bit of the park. But Ederson can actually cover these areas very, very well, meaning that we might have a different source of actual attacking play, different varieties, different dynamics. It would be nice to see our fullbacks actually be competent enough to go further out the pitch, knowing that anything that's going backwards, we actually got the legs to cover it if need be. If we got a speedy Gonzalez like Ryan or Kropi running at us, you know, or someone else like, I don't know, Bukayo Saka. Wouldn't say he's blistering pace, but you could say he's very effective pace up the pitch with better decision making. And that's where I feel like Ederson can really come in and fit like a glove. And overall, I don't know what number he's going to wear in his shirt, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to see consistent 6 out of 7s out of 10s from this man. I can see him definitely having a part to play mainly in the Champions League, where I feel because the game's a little bit slower, it might suit him that little bit better. And even in cup games as well, where, you know what, I feel like because we've been so poor in the cups last season, there's a lot to prove. You know, are we going to see more first team than second team? But this is the whole point of building a squad, and it starts with that man there. Now, I think he's going to probably pick number 13. You know who used to have energy that used to wear number 13? Guess it? Guess it? Yeah? So, man, that didn't stop running all game. I mean, we've just got another one of those. Could it be one of those? Maybe I'm getting a little bit too gassed. But yeah, please, again, as I said, smash the likes, subscribe if you're brand new, get your thoughts in the comments, hype it all up. Here we go, Ederson. £38 million package. Good deal. Rate the deal out of 10.